I'm Earl Stewart. I welcome you to Earl Stewart on Cars Mystery Shopping Report. Okay, Mystery Shop. AutoNation Honda of Hollywood, Florida. Hollywood Honda has been there for a long time. I mean, I was the largest Honda dealership in the country for a while. It was really an amazing dealership. AutoNation now owns it. For those listeners outside our area, South Florida basically consists of 3 counties, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach, with a total population of nearly 10 million. It's an unbroken metro sprawl that runs from Jupiter through Miami. Jupiter is the extreme north end of Palm Beach County. The population gets denser the further south you go, and the denser the population, the more car dealerships. I mean, wall-to-wall car dealerships in South Florida. It's kind of like Los Angeles. When you get all these car dealerships crammed together, the competition gets fierce. A booming economy, a once-in-a-lifetime seller's market, and I can tell you, we'll never see it this good again for car dealers. And no practical regulatory enforcement creates the perfect condition, the perfect storm for dangerous consumer environment. Okay, here's the report. When I'm speaking in the first term, as if I were Agent Lightning. Angelino, the salesman, was waiting by the front door and watched me as I parked my car and walked into the entrance. I got to the door. He asked me if I was there to see anyone in particular. Said I didn't have an appointment, but I was very interested in a new Honda Pilot. I pointed to the gray touring model parked nearby and told him I wanted something like that. Angelino asked me if I wanted him to get the keys, and I said, okay. The MSRP of the Pilot was $46,920. There was no addendum sticker on the car. That's usually a red flag, and we see mostly red flags because most all cars have addendum stickers. This car did not have an addendum sticker. He was only gone for a couple of minutes, and then he launched into a detailed presentation of the car and all its features. We took it for a test drive in heavy traffic. That's all you get down there in South Florida is heavy traffic, particularly in this area. Along the way, Angelina asked me if I was considering any other vehicles. I told him I was narrowing my search down to the Honda Pilot and the Toyota Highlander. Angelina told me the Pilot is much heavier and therefore much more stable. That's an interesting argument. He said I would feel the difference when I open and close the doors. He said he doesn't like to badmouth the other brands, but he insisted you could feel the difference between the Pilot and the Highlander. And that's good salesmanship. A lot of salesmen just sell a price and they don't sell the product. This salesperson was selling the product. There was no selling of the price because he's not going to negotiate. We returned to the dealership and went to Angelina's desk. He asked for my driver's license and went about adding me to their computer system. He told me all about the inventory situation and that most of their sales are orders. And I alluded to that earlier. And you should order a car. You buy the car on the floor, you're going to be paying more money. You're also going to be paying for more money for the one you order, but not as much more. Angelina told me that if I didn't take the car today, I should leave a deposit. That way I wouldn't lose out on the car. I told him, when it came in. Well, I alluded to that earlier. There are some other things you should do if you order a car. You want to have a legal buyer's order. I told him I still needed to drive the Highlander and didn't want to give him a deposit until I had picked out the car I wanted, and that certainly is good practice, good idea. Angelina warned me about what the other dealers were doing. He said AutoNation was not using markups or addendums. Now remember that. AutoNation was not using markups or addendums. But the other dealers were, and they were charging way over MSRP. Again, remember this paragraph. I asked to see the numbers, and Angelina left to get the worksheet. The top line was MSRP, $46,290. And remember, he said earlier, the last paragraph, that other dealers are charging markups over MSRP. Okay, now his MSRP was $46,290. Then he added a 3-year protection package for $619. A 3-year dent protection package for $639, window tinting for $299, wheel locks for $149, ka-ching, $149 electronic filing fee, ka-ching, $899 dealer fee, hidden fee I call it.
Yeah, what they call it.
Ka-ching. And of course the sales tax, which is a government fee, which is the only thing okay that I just said was the sales tax. And of course the license plate, I didn't mention that. AutoNation Honda was selling me the Pilot, along with some stuff I didn't ask for. $2,754 worth of stuff over MSRP. So the total was $49,024. The MSRP was $646,290. So when you hear they're not selling it over MSRP, they were selling it over MSRP, but in a different way. Dealers are adding addendums that are markups to market value, they call it, market adjustment addendum, they call it, just another form of a markup over MSRP. Relatively valueless addendums, dealer installed options, and hidden fees, doc fees, like electronic filing fee and dealer fee, these are all markups, just by a different name. A rose is a rose is a rose. It's still a markup. Fine print, I'll read it and then I'll hold it in front of the camera. It says optional products or services not required for vehicle purchase. And it's in the fine print that you can't read. I asked Angelino about the add-ons. I said I didn't want any of it. He said if I didn't want all the add-ons, he didn't think he could do anything about it because some of it was already installed on the vehicle. He said that if I gave him a deposit to bring to his manager, it would be a fight, but he would see what he could do. So here were add-ons that were disclosed to be not required, that Angelino was telling me was required, at least his manager, he thought it would be required, and he would have to fight to get it taken off. So here we have dishonesty
and pressure. He's saying, give me some
and
money.
Pressure by the salesperson and potentially by the manager. We didn't talk to the manager, but we could have. And it was a bit of a disappointment. So here we have a shopping report where it was a little more honest than we thought till we saw the fine print, which the sales manager probably would have argued about, fought for, as Angelino the salesman said, and therefore we have a negative in this otherwise seemingly positive shopping report. So we come to the point where we're going to vote on it.
I'll give them a D.
For me, they get a D minus.
Nancy, how about you?
I'm going to give them a D.
Yeah, I'm going to give them a D. AutoNation, CYA, covered themselves with the disclosure, but it was still in the fine print. They can say that they're a publicly held company. Publicly held companies like AutoNation tend to be a little bit more careful about following the letter of the law. Unfortunately, the letter of the law says you can disclose things in fine print. Everybody does it, but it's just not morally right. It's not ethical. The Federal Trade Commission says in writing it's a violation to use anything in fine print that changes the advertised price. So that's exactly what Hollywood Honda did. They put something in the fine print. They violated the Federal Trade Commission regulation, and they could be fined by the Federal Trade Commission or sued by the Federal Trade Commission, and they should be. What good is advertising rules and regulations if you can advertise a price and totally compromise it by unreadable fine print? So clearly, fine print is not disclosure, and that's the reason the Federal Trade Commission says it's a violation. But nobody enforces it. Hi, this is Earl Stewart. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to be notified of new videos that we post to our YouTube channel, simply click on the subscribe button at the lower right-hand side of the screen.